Hello everyone, I am back, and this is just an update on my printer progress. Do you want the good news or do you want the bad news? Good news is it's still printing. The bad news is it's still printing. So the slicer that I used predicted that it would take 7 hours to print this. What I'm doing is I'm taking this print that my little Reality Ender 3 Pro printed in, I think it took 24 hours. Might have taken longer, I don't remember. But anyway, it printed this at 1/18th scale. And so after fighting with this Modix printer for months, I finally think I got a printer profile that will work. And it's been printing. But it's been over 24 hours. The slicer said it would take 7 hours to print. And here it is, 24 hours later, and it sure doesn't look anywhere close to done. So I'm not sure. If I come over here to the console, it is saying that now it went down to 0 first. It said time left and it went down to 0. Overnight, it updated. Now it's saying 3 hours and 17 minutes, but I don't believe that. I don't understand why it says slicer 3 hours 17 minutes, filament 66 hours and 6 minutes, and the file 28 hours and 56 minutes. Those numbers keep changing. I have no clue. Now what I have found out is that that little bar there seems to be fairly accurate. So if you look, only looks, what, a third of the way done? About half. So it looks like I got a whole day, or 24 hours, not just a day, as in 8 hours, like 24 hours. So from the looks of things, I'll be lucky to get a part out tomorrow morning at this time. Doesn't matter, as long as it prints, as long as it works, that's where I'm at now. So I saw that it was wasting a ton of filament in all of this. This is just support material so that it's not trying to print these flat areas in thin air. So you can see this matches up with where the roof is. That is the rear deck. There's this part right here. And then here's the whole hood and front end. Let's go over here and you can see that we actually have a front end there. So it's making progress. The print quality is less than stellar, but again, I just need to get something out. Once I get this out and working, then I can start working on improving things. But so far, this printer in the last year has produced exactly one reasonably good part. It's still not what one would expect. I mean, I obviously couldn't sell this to someone and say, hey, look, here's a good 3D printed part. It's like, oh, okay, here's a minimally acceptable 3D part that you're gonna have to spend hours figuring out how do you fix. This one is out of PLA. I didn't make this one, previous people. There's been a lot of people that work on this printer trying to get it to work, but they even marked it PLA is what they used. Anyway, this is, believe it or not, this is the best part that's come out of this printer in the last year. Other people working with it. Here's another one. You can see what it's done here is it's printed, but it's got issues. Flip it over, it looks even worse on the back side. Right there. So, no point in trying to troubleshoot this because the people that did this are gone. All I have is their G-code files, and there's no point in screwing with those because I don't know how to edit G-code files, and really it's something I don't want to learn to do unless I just absolutely have to. To put everything in perspective, here's what I am trying to do. I am trying to make a body to put on this. This is a C8 Corvette radio controlled car. It's right at 1/8 scale. I don't know how accurate it is, but that's all I had to work with back when I was doing this. So I've got that. The goal is to convert this C8 into a C2, which I've done full scale, and then convert that C2 into a transport version, which is where the car is now. The shop is doing that. But they're working so slow that I'm thinking that maybe I can generate the parts. They're going to have to modify the parts because obviously they won't just bolt right on because of the different proportions. You can see that, obviously the C8 has a short front and a longer back as compared to the C2. So my plan was to digitally create a hood that works and then 3D print it either in full scale. It would probably take 4, I'm thinking maybe it would take 4 large prints and then have to glue them together. And from there I can either use them as that or make a mold out of that or cover that with carbon fiber or whatever. Not sure exactly what to do, but anyway, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But first I had to get something out of this printer that would work, which hopefully, there's the light at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully it's not a train coming to crash into me. But anyway, I don't know if I have that hood over here yeah, so this is what I was afraid of. I printed this supposedly at the correct scale. And as I've shown you before, this thing isn't going to just go on here. It's going to require some manipulating. So we were talking, Charlie and I were, Charlie Strickland's, I've been working with him on this stuff. We both have the same interest of getting 3D files to actually be something physical so that we can make cars. So we're thinking if we have to, we can eliminate, let's say, one of these 3 sections. That would shorten it by that much. Possibly eliminate a couple of these vents too. It would have the same effect, even if there were only 2 of these, and we're to lose 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. I could maybe get rid of 1, and it would still look good. 2 would be pushing it. So again, it probably makes more sense to get rid of that. Now in my case, this is a trunk, so obviously it couldn't be opened on the back side or else everything would get wet. So my plan is to put a solid tray underneath here with drains in the front, so water will drain, up here in the front end area. Again, all design issues that can be resolved, but we got to get something going. The other thing is, once I get these files going, I do have access to Charlie's 3-axis and 5-axis mills, and so I'm going to put this into CAD software and then try to generate the tool paths so that I can start doing that. The plan was to do that months ago because I thought this would take, a week or a couple of weeks, a month at the most. Actually, I didn't think it would take a month to get this printer working, but I lose track of time. I'm really bad about that, but I'd say it's been at least 3 months I've been fighting with this printer trying to get it to actually print something successfully. All right, that's all I've got right now as an update. I will update you when and if this thing finishes. Hopefully it will be in the next 24 hours, 48 hours. Like I said, the little bar indicator says we got quite a while to wait. All right, like, subscribe, hit the alert. Thanks. And if you don't like what I'm doing, you don't know Jack. Bye.